today is something that everything is trending right now. So everybody knows right now, or it's been trending pretty. Issue or the Jada and Will Smith piece has been trending. So I wanted to talk about it a bit. Been a lot of back and forth, a lot of people having their opinion, a lot of funny commentary, some that I've even posted on my Facebook page that I thought was pretty funny. I've spoken to friends and family members about it. So it really has kind of captivated the attention for a moment with all this going on. And I think a major reason why is because it struck home for a lot of people. It touched something. And what did it touch? Well, I think for many people, it actually hit them on a personal level, and some I think are projecting what they think you know what they think the right or appropriate way is to approach the situation, similar to what they involve themselves in. But you know, I don't know if anybody has the right answer. I'm not sure that I'm even going to give you the correct answer, but I do feel that I can hopefully bring some insight a little bit to the situation. After being married for almost 18 years now, we've had some of our own challenges, my wife and I, and we've been able to overcome them. So hopefully, I can help you guys overcome some of those things as well. And excuse me as I'm typing here. I'm just trying to make sure that people can find the show today. And if they want to get on, if they want to call in or whatever case they may want to do. And so, yeah, so just give me a few moments here to kind of clean up a little bit of homework. All right. And as always, it's been a tradition that I really kind of start the show with a blog. And I wrote a blog for the month of June. I haven't written one for July as of yet, but I did write one for June. Still appropriate, still very much so appropriate. Um, but I actually want to read a different one this week. I want to read one of my older versions only because I think that it is probably more fitting for today's discussion. Um, so I'm going to actually read one that I wrote February of 2019. Now, I changed the name. The name of this blog was different, but we had some problems on my website, and we lost some things. And so when I reposted it back onto my website, and we had to repost it back on, I changed the name to the name that I originally wanted to name it. But I was kind of a couple of people who great advisors kind of share with me, maybe not. Um, but I think that it will resonate a little bit more At least that's my personal opinion. So either way, the main piece is not the title anyway. It's the body of the work, the body of the blog. But it's February 2019, and it's called Pussy Power. That's right, Pussy Power. I travel often, mainly for business. My travel tends to take me away from my family. I've noticed that I miss my family more each time I go away, even when I'm traveling for pleasure. I'm not sure if it's because I'm getting older or for some other reason, but I've noticed it nevertheless. What I've greatly noticed is the longing I have for my wife. I've enjoyed looking at her and sharing little stories, the not so important ones. In addition, this longing is becoming more sexual, however. Unlike when we were in our 20s or 30s. When I was younger, it was just a pleasure please. Now I seek and long for a spiritual pleasing throughout our sexual encounters. In full disclosure, neither of us are as physically attractive as we were in our much younger ages, although I still find my wife pleasing to the eye. The stronger and more appealing part of my longing comes from a much deeper part of her. My good friend and spiritual midwife, Dr. Melva Green, for the last 10 years has been teaching us a practice called energetic alchemy. She's conducted discussions, sessions, and recommended books and others that perform such work. Callie and I have grown from her instruction. Melva has often spoke of a thing called womb power, which she refers to more commonly as pussy power. I like the name, but I really like the principles and practice that once the pussy is unlocked, the power is released. It is a healing property that can rebuild relationships, cultivate a new idea, cure a sick child, and subconscious elements to even help one build wealth or any level of success. That's right, the power is in the pussy. Now I'm no expert in the practice, but in my understanding, this power is in all pussy. The issue is that most women have no idea that they house such power, and most men only look for it to do what I desired of it early in my life, to please them. Now, however, I seek a much deeper understanding of the womb, and as I do, my wife has become this sex goddess. I tap into parts of my subconscious mind that call me to work harder and seek out solutions for problems unlike ever before. I decided to share this practice with you because I feel it is necessary work to move us forward. We are hurting people that endured centuries of abuse and pain. I believe that we react in violent and dangerously impulsive ways due to this trauma. In short, and in the words of my brother P.F. Boone, hurt people hurt people. Now, with all that said, this practice is a serious one and requires much study and understanding for best results. So, in this month of love, please take this journey with me and Callie as we unlock the answers of spiritual healing through energetic alchemy, the power in the pussy. So yeah, folks, you guys can always, of course, get those blogs, GaryRockman.com. Check them out. Things on there as well. But yep. So anyway, to the show again: sex, marriage, and you. Why do I say it that way? Because I think a big part of it is important to understand. Is unlocking and releasing certain things within yourself. So yeah, folks have been clowning Will and Jada. Some people have been in support. Some people, 50 Cent came out his mouth last week. Will Smith didn't appreciate that. Some said, hey, Will, you get on a show and you kind of share all your business. This is what it is. This is what you got to take. August put it out there. Really, a lot of people feel like he broke the code. Um, I watched the August piece when it first came on, and then I saw Jaden Will's piece, the Red Table piece. And it was so wild because, one, I think that there's a lot of things that got missed in the August piece, and I think there's even more things that got missed in the Will and Jada Table Talk. So August talked about a whole lot of things, a lot of healing, a lot of places or places where he was in his mind, and his body, and kind of what he's come through and where he is. He spoke on that quite a bit throughout the whole entire interview. The only thing that people picked up is that he said that he had a relationship with Jada Smith. Well, if you really kind of what I heard the brother saying, and even why I think that he actually even divulged that he had been in that relationship, is because that relationship helped to heal him, helped to bring him through. And I know that many people may not realize that, and some say that she got over on him, she broke off the relationship, left this man crushed and hurt. But if you watch the video, the interview with him, he actually sounded more full, more whole, more put together than he had probably ever has. And it sounded like, she really helped him move forward in a positive way. Um, so that's what I took from that. I also heard him basically charging or at least sharing with other people who were listening that look, there's a lot of hurt. We're hurting as a people. You're hurting. We got to get some love in our lives. We got to be able to get past a lot of this shit. The the hurts from childhood, from loved ones who've hurt us, and just society as a whole, in order for us to really break free. Right? That's what I heard August say. And then when Jada around there on their round table, I mean, one of the things I agree with them is that hey, look, we really kind of try to keep our lives as private as we can, and but we kind of felt like I think they felt like it was um, it was almost a duty um, to kind of speak on it, right? And the reason why I think they thought that is again, I think this thing was more about healing. And I don't think a lot of people are getting that. People are kind of going over everybody's head. But the study of energetic alchemy, it focuses me more so on that aspect of it and understanding if you are in a spiritual, if you're using your spiritual sexual energy and not your hedonism sexual energy. If you're not thinking about it from a hedonism standpoint, but really more so from a spiritual standpoint, then both conversations, both views, if you will, are interviews that can help us spiritually. Yep, I know, sounds crazy because it's a little bit deep. It's a little bit deep, and that's not saying that I'm deep and you're not deep. I'm just speaking to the energetic alchemy, which is a practice that we've been practicing. It's ancient as we are a people. It's been stolen from us. We really don't even know it, and we can't oftentimes tap into it because we're so far away from this. Kind of like I share it with people, and I say it's kind of like the Lion King. If you remember Simba, they here it is. He's the king of the jungle, and he's walking around. He doesn't even identify himself. He doesn't know who he is, the power that he has. It's the same thing. They tell us that certain things are witchcraft, voodoo. These are practices that we have had that actually were helping and healing us and made us strong as a people. And they rip those things from us. They give us their beliefs, their systems. We then crumble. We then fall victim in practicing their religions, their practices, and we can't even identify ourselves and tap into our own God-given right, uh, 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 ancestry and and practices. So yeah, it's deep, and it's much deeper than two people fucking. So if that's what you got from it, then yes, you're missing a whole lot of this. Because yes, fucking was a part of it, but such a small part, such a small part. There is healing going on all over the place, and I know that Will looked really hurt and upset when they were talking about it, but that's general. I mean, that's to be expected. I mean, he might have been teary up. There still may be some hurt there, but to be that loving, to be that vulnerable, to allow your ego mm, to just really throw your ego away, to allow your goddess, your wife. See, we don't really know what the fuck that means. We talk about husbands and wives and shit, and we don't know what that shit means for real. We really put that shit on the same shelf as your girlfriend or your boyfriend. We don't understand that shit, but they actually understand that shit. That this thing is so much bigger than my property. I don't own my wife. Me and Callie have been married almost 18 years. That ain't my pussy. It's her pussy. This ain't her dick. This is my dick. I travel around with it everywhere I go. I keep it clean and I keep up the maintenance on this motherfucker. And through marriage, because of marriage, we are supposed to have a much stronger connection, understanding, a much deeper patience with one another, a much better understanding, or be in search of that with one another. And on this journey, there's all types of shit that comes up. There's the regular shit, the everyday shit, right? Like just children and bills and responsibilities on that level, and parents getting older, and those are just the things that come with getting older and being married, right? But then there are those other things as well, those things that kind of come from nowhere sometimes, or you weren't expecting them, and we must deal with those as well. And being of human beings and having our own shit that we've been carrying with us all our lives, our own hurts, our own ambitions, our own doubts, whatever it is, that's part of the shit too. That's part of we got to be able to love that part of the person too. Now, I'm not talking about if anybody's getting physical with you, slapping nobody around or putting their hands on one another. No. But many people actually tap out so fucking fast because they treat this shit like it's, you know, a date night with someone, a blind date, boyfriend and girlfriend shit. This ain't boyfriend and girlfriend shit though. I've had girlfriends before. I understand what boyfriend girlfriend shit looks like, right? I understand that. I've had me some girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? And you know, there was some cheating going on. There was some arguing going on. But when she didn't like something I did, or I didn't like something she did, or whatever the case may be, we went our separate ways. This shit right here is real. Marriage is a whole nother fucking level. You can't play with this shit. This shit right here is real. It's not the same as boyfriend and girlfriend shit. So when I hear Jada and Will speak on it like they did, what I heard was a lot of healing. What I heard was two people actually growing together spiritually and staying connected. That's some powerful shit, man. And when I look at my wife and we rap, it's on that same level, right? We've had some shit going on in our relationship. We've had some hurt and some pain, some cries, right? Some tears, some misunderstandings. We've had all of that. But when I look at her, I see a goddess. And I can look at her that way because I don't own her. It's not my property. She is blossoming and growing in the beautiful essence of herself. And I, being her life partner, must continue to allow that to happen for as long as we shall live. And she the same in me. People change every 10 years. You're a different person. I've been with her 22 years. We dated for 3.5 or 3 before I proposed to her. We were engaged for a year and a half. We've been married almost 18, so that's 22. So I've changed twice. She's changed twice. In those 22 years. We just celebrated my mother-in-law and father-in-law 60th wedding anniversary. 60 motherfucking years. Each have changed 6 times since they were married. There've been different people. No, not every aspect of you changes, but there are definitely things about you that change. How you view the world on certain things changes. You start having kids. Those of you who know me or read my book, me and my wife almost separated back in like 2009, 2010. Why? Because, well, shit, my wife was wanting to celebrate Christmas. I'm Muslim. And when we got married, before we got married, we discussed it, and that was a deal breaker for me. Our children would never celebrate Christmas. So when she threw that monkey wrench at me, that's came from nowhere. She wanted to celebrate Christmas with the kids. It fucked me up. I felt completely just misled. That was just her changing. She changed her mind. She had become a mother. She wasn't a mother when we dated, so it wasn't a big deal to her at the time. She became a mother, and she thought about her childhood. And she had the relatives, and they all kind of wanted the kids to celebrate Christmas. And so she's thinking, well, what do I do? And I could have tapped out. Deal breaker. Could have tapped out. Could have said peace. Went and lived in one of my rentals. But we got through it. And the truth and all to be told, it ain't been that bad. We alternate which day, which years we're gonna celebrate Christmas. And guess what? My kids ain't even that big on the shit. It's not a big deal to them. They enjoy like everybody else, getting some gifts on Christmas Day or whatever. But shit, most of the time it lasts for about that 15 minutes. They get one toy or whatever. They know we're not big on toys, and they're super happy. But then the years that we don't do that, we go and we buy toiletries and blankets and different things for the homeless, and we made that part of our tradition on the other year, on the off year of Christmas, and they enjoy that shit too. And we give to a family that's having some hard times. We'll buy groceries and give the mom give some gift cards so she can get some other essentials and just buy some things, some coats and maybe a toy for her children, single mother. And we've been doing that shit for years now. And the whole point I'm making is that we've grown through it. We've made them both work. We enjoy them. The kids enjoy them. We've grown. I can remember, however, when my wife and I struggled sexually. I've always had a very high sexual energy. Even as a young man in high school, I could talk to my mom real freely and openly about sex. My friends that were females, I used to tell them about their bodies and how they could orgasm. They received it well then because they were young. Uh, my girlfriends that I had even young, um, uh, and even would share with me that my experience level seemed much higher than what they would have expected for our age group. Um, when I was in college, I, I dated women who were 10, 15 years older than me, and all which, again, from a sexual standpoint, thought that I was way, way more advanced than even partners that they had had that were their age. And I think a lot of that is due to my mom, being able to speak freely, you know, being able to tap into that sexual energy at an earlier age, not really understanding all of it, not even understanding how powerful I was until I first met my friend Melva, who could see in me what I couldn't necessarily identify in myself and told me what it was and how to enhance it and how to make that deeper connection with my wife. But prior to that, Callie and I really struggled when we were dating, and we struggled. She didn't have a really high sexual energy, and she really looked at it, I believe, coming forward and knowing what I know now, a little bit with a little bit of taboo, if you will. I think a lot of women feel that way. And so it was kind of rough, it was really rough. And I mean, think about a young man in his 20s who's not really having sex with his lady on a regular basis or on a frequency that you're looking to have sex and still be in love with her. Still saw her though, right? And nevertheless, we got married and got better. Newlywed love. So for the first couple of years, we were getting it in pretty hot and heavy. Then that started to wane. Tried to have children and became very mechanical and not very pleasurable at all. Then after children, it just kind of almost ceased and went back to where it was prior to us getting married. But I remember one day sitting on the couch with my wife, and I asked her about, I was asking, we were talking, I brought up the conversation of sex, and it was a superly awkward fucking conversation. And I was like, man, this is really awkward. We've been married for some years now. We've got children. And she's very awkward in having this conversation with her husband about sex. And I got angry. I was frustrated. And I recall we weren't really having sex very often either. It was terrible, man. It was once, twice a month. And there are folk out here who are having sex even less than that. That's you're married, and that is supposed to be the way that you two can connect on a whole nother level, and that level should not just be about a release, ejaculating, or orgasm in the same sense of being an ejaculation for the woman. It really is a time to have an orgasmic connection. And until you have that orgasmic connection, I can't really tell you what that is, or how that is, or how but you'll know when you know. And that's what it's supposed to really be about. And here it is, and she and I are not having sex very often, and a lot of other things going on. I lost my mother recently, and was kind of depressed. My business was imploding, and I was just, mm, it was rough. And I had that conversation with her, and it didn't go really well. But I didn't give up. I wrote a letter. I wrote an email, as a matter of fact. And I outlined that email on everything, from everything to how I felt about her, how I viewed her, and how beautiful she was to me still, sexy she was. At the same time, I asked if I was sexy to her, and then we talked about, she open to an open relationship, because the way things were currently moving was not going to work for me. And I mean, I put it all out there. I didn't hold anything back. I was okay with her saying that she wanted an open relationship. If that was going to be her response, I was okay. If she said no, she didn't want to, and she wanted to step up a game, and they basically, try to help us to reconnect in that way. I was okay with whatever the end result was going to be. But the point is that I wanted to make sure that one, that communication was open and it was free flowing, it was honest, it was truthful. And I think that's what resonated with her as well. So we had our discussion, and we had, and from there, our sex life just improved tenfold. You know, she had finally kind of heard me, I felt, through an email, and it was great. It was great. But then all of a sudden, I felt that after a while, I felt like it had gotten still more mechanical. Like the connection still wasn't what I was expecting it to be. And I went back to Melva. I said, Melva, look, told Melva. Melva said, read this book. And she recommended this book called The Woman's Anatomy of Arousal. The Woman's Anatomy of Arousal. I wish I had a copy next to me. I would show you guys that are viewing this on YouTube. But Woman's Anatomy of Arousal, great book. Shirley Winston, I think is the lady's name, who wrote the book. And she said, read this book with Callie in the bed together. So I said, okay, cool. And actually, because I'm a reader, I like to read. And so I actually had Callie read the book to me in bed. So we kind of read it that way together. So that way she's still a little bit more focused on the book. And just in reading that book, she was like, wow, she learned a lot about the body. She learned a lot about just shit that she'd been holding on to, and how to let that shit go. Um, and she actually kind of, I think, really was more open to exploring things with me. And we went on that journey, and it just got better. And we've been on this journey of energetic alchemy together for about 6 years now, and it's just getting better. And we've read a number of different, I've referred friends of mine, some of my Tuskegee alums, some of the sisters I'm close with, some of my frat brothers, some of my guy friends that are having issues with their marriage, or some sisters who maybe should have just got divorced, you know, and they are trying to tap into their sexual energy. And those who actually, and typically the women are the ones who actually follow through. But those who have followed through, but I have had a couple of frat brothers who did too. So let me give them credit. But mostly the women are the ones who will pick up the book, they'll read the book, they'll complete the books, they'll hit me up, Joe G, this was great. I got one friend, love her. She's like, yo, I've been orgasming like crazy. I've had about, I can orgasm in about 8 different ways now, and I'm loving it, right? I'm loving the fact that she's one. She had gone through a tough divorce, and I just wanted to give her an opportunity to really focus in on her, help her feel good, as Jada said, and really get back to her. And so I'm just so pleased. I'm so very happy when I get those responses. My wife is now meditating, and meditation is so fucking important. It's so important to get out of your mind and really get into the essence of you. The essence of you. Out of your mind and into the essence. Once we get into the essence of who we are, we connect with the universe. We understand our relationship to our creator. It's real shit. And all of this, that mature level energetic alchemy, that mature level sexual energy, this is not hedonism. This is not lust and fuck, and that's not what this is. That's not what I believe Jaden on, or what August got exposed to. It is a much deeper Afrocentric ancestry type of thing. And because we have been so bamboozled and so confused in this country, we don't even recognize our own gifts and our own practices. So many people are talking about the cheating, and everybody's monogamous, or they talk about monogamy, but they're lying. They're lying. They're really all into polygamy, but they're liars in their polygamy. They fucking other people, and they lying to their loved ones, saying it's just you, baby. And in that, it just creates more hurt. That shit just creates more hurt, more pain, more obstacles, because you can't be fully connected and not be able to be transparent. My wife and I, now I will share that my wife and I said this, when we started dating, we both kind of were like, I worked in the hotel industry, and, I saw pretty women all day long. And then I remember when we first were dating, she showed a little bit of insecurity as pertained to that. And I said, baby, look, I work in a 900-room hotel in Washington, D.C. I can fuck anytime I want some pussy. It's pretty much at my disposal. And I meant that because it was true. said, you gotta trust me. It's the only way this shit's gonna work. And it seemed that, she does, right? But we said to ourselves early on in our relationship that, look, if you ever did do something, right, just make sure I don't find out, right? Um, I actually had a couple of friends in college, and I remember when they used to share my frat brother and his girlfriend. He used to share with us. Said, "Man, if y'all see my girl cheating on me, don't come and tell me that shit." I said, "Damn, man, you crazy as hell. What you mean you want to know your girl cheating on me?" He said, "Man, I got an image of her. It's in my mind. This is how I see her. That's how I want to keep it." He said, "Now, if I find out on my own, that's different. But I don't want y'all bringing nothing to me." And at the time, I couldn't get it. I was 20 something years old, 23, something like that, 22, something like that. I couldn't get it. But when I got a little older, in my late 20s, I could get that. I understood it. And I shared that with Callie, and Callie shared the same with me. And I told my boys, I said, "Look, man, yeah, don't bring no shit to me. Let me find out on my own." And so some people find that kind of odd, right? And it's not odd. It's not saying that neither of us is saying we're giving the other the pass to cheat. Uh, what we're doing though is we're being adults, and we're also recognizing that sex is not the game changer for us. Sex is not the uh, is not the thing that is the deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? That's not the deal breaker. Um, we're not, like I said, encouraging the other to do certain things with other folk, but we're also understanding that we're human and things happen. And on this journey, however, of our connection to each other, that she is more important to me and I to her than certain things that may happen throughout our relationship. And so that to me is the real healing, the real maturity, the real unconditional love type. That's real love. We kind of say unconditional. I don't know if there's anything other than unconditional love. If you ain't got unconditional love, you ain't fucking really loving nobody. How about that? We got unconditional love. If you're not unconditionally in love with a motherfucker, then you don't really love them at all. And that's the thing that people don't get. People don't get that. Unconditional love is the only love there fucking is. As a parent, you don't lose your love for your kids, even if they make you angry as fuck. You don't lose the love. You may be upset with them, disappointed, but the love is still there. It's no different with a spouse. If you truly fucking love them in the first place. But most people aren't truly fucking in love. Ha! That's the real shit. And most people, unfortunately, have never fucking been in love. Ha! You think you was in love, your ass wasn't in love. You got married, divorced, you've been married 3 times, divorced 3 times, your ass ain't never been in love. You've been in lust, motherfucker. And when situations were working out, you were cool. When situations weren't, you tapped the fuck out. You weren't happy. They didn't make you happy. And they weren't supposed to make your black ass happy. Or your white ass, or your Asian ass, or whatever ass. They weren't supposed to make you happy. You got to make yourself happy. And that's that powerful shit that August spoke to. That went over people's heads. That if he died today, he feels blessed that he has known what love is. Whew, that shit was so deep, though. Y'all didn't get that shit. Y'all talking about his hair and his other shit going on with him and the fact that he dropped down. Y'all missing the fucking jewels up in this bitch. That young man said, if I die a fucking day, I know what love is. That's some powerful shit. Because most people don't fucking know what love is. When I watched that piece with Jada and Will, I said, that's a goddess right there, boy. I could see how much Will loved that woman. How they vibrating on a fucking frequency that most will never ever fucking experience. That's what I got from it. When I look at my wife and I know what we've been through, shit. I thought I loved some women before. I thought I had been loved before. I know now, shit. Maybe one of them other ones loved me. Maybe. But this one here, I can speak freely, speak openly. I'm looking into her soul. And I'm opening up my soul to her. Shit ain't about what you think of me and my relationship. Who gives a fuck about you think of me and my relationship? That's why Will and Jada could fucking come out and be open with the world. They really don't give a fuck what y'all think. For the most part. Get a little bit disrespectful, you gotta slap back at a motherfucker. You can't let a guy like 50 Cent just get out of hand. But it really was about a lesson. They were really trying to give a love lesson. They were really trying to show how what healing looks like. And so many people missed it. So many people missed that agape love. When my wife and I got married, she wrote in there, inside my ring, she had it engraved, agape love. If you follow me on Facebook, check out my post. Agape love is forever, baby. It's eternal. It's eternal. It doesn't stop. It goes on to forever. But love is not some shit you just say. Love is something you do. It's something you practice. It's patience. It's understanding. That's what love is. Love ain't just a hot plate, yo. Love ain't just paying the bills. Love is when there is no goddamn hot plate. And when you can't pay the bills, but you still connected. You still see the goddess in God and each other. And you still are working to help enhance that in the other as well as within yourself. And you are still allowing the other to grow at their pace and be free. Love ain't restrictive. And you get all them goddamn restrictions we put on it. You can, motherfuckers got all types of restrictions. She can't dress like that. She can't wear that. She can't hang out there. She can't go no down that. Too many fucking restrictions. You don't own her. She don't own you. When you start to put all that possessiveness into the relationship, you hinder the opportunity of being transparent. Because the other person's gonna fucking lie. Some aspect they saying they lie to protect. Other aspects they lie because they just don't want to fucking hear your nag. Your judgment. We all fucked up. We all got shit with us. So, you gonna keep your shit? You gonna have your shit, then judge the other? That ain't love. That ain't love. It's hypocrisy like a motherfucker. You ain't loving nobody when you do that. Got some buddies and shit. They was cheating the fuck on their wives, just fucking all types of women. I said, man, if your woman, your wife did, you saw her and she was, got some dick from somebody, how would you feel? Oh man, I'd divorce her. You divorce her? But you fucking about three different ones. Dirty ass dick. Got one pregnant. But if she cheat on you, it's over. You fucking narcissist. You hate yourself. Cause anybody who could say some shit like that is hurt themselves. They seeking they're looking to fuck everything because they trying to fucking relive. They trying to rebirth themselves. You didn't hear me. I said they're trying to rebirth themselves. Go back into the womb and recreate themselves again. And it don't happen that way if you're not spiritually connected. And if you're just a hypocrite, narcissist, judging every fucking body else as you run game and bullshit. Well, you running game and bullshit. That's what you're putting out. That's what you're gonna get back. The connection is lost, baby. You can't connect like that. You can't connect even in business with business relationships if you putting out bullshit energy, fake ass energy. You get fake ass energy back. So this thing about sex and marriage and you is really fucking about you. Most of us are in an adolescent aspect of in our minds when it comes to sex. Most men are 12-year-olds. Most women are not much older than that themselves. Most women don't know all the inner workings of their bodies, don't even know all the aspects of their womb or their vagina, don't know all the the naming parts of their vagina. Yeah, you know your uterus, you know, your clitoris, you know that basic shit. But most don't really know that. They don't know their inner, the other aspects of the other parts of the vagina, or the men don't know the parts of theirs, and our shit's simple. They don't know the inner workings of that for a woman. For real talk. G spots and things. They don't know real G spots. They don't know that shit. They don't know the positive poles and the negative poles. This shit's deeper than just penetration play. Real sexual, spiritual energy is much deeper than that. Understanding the poles uh, of a female, the positive poles of a female, and understanding your poles as a male, the negative poles, and how they align with one another and why we are attracted to each other. I'm gonna give y'all another one. This is more controversial, but real talk. Another reason why I understand that homosexual is not is made up. It's in our minds. It's not how we were born. It's in the mind. It's real talk. And because it's the way that we are aligned, the way that we are aligned as people, the Creator has designed us to attract to the opposite sex. If we didn't think, right? You couldn't think you'd still be drawn to the opposite sex. That's real. But because the Creator gives us will, because He gives us the power to do our own will, our mind plays a part. And in this society, when we are bombarded and manipulated with certain images, subconsciously we believe that we are born a certain way. Mm-mm. This is all spiritual energy, baby. And your heart beats and it knows how to beat because it's a heart and it has a negative and positive charge and it beats based off of that. And our sexual energy is energy and it attracts to the opposite sex because it knows the opposite sex. It needs, you know, the male needs the female negative, positive pole of the man needs the negative pole of the female. It's just real shit. So next time somebody's laughing at some shit, you want to think deeper, reflect. This energetic alchemy is real. It's our birthright as a people. It can help heal us in so many ways. That is really my show for the day, folks. I hope you all got something out of it. I enjoyed sharing it with you. Um, my wife and I have some round circles with couples that we started last year in October. Of course, COVID shut all that down for us to continue those at this particular moment. Some of you will probably get an invite at one point or another to come and join us to really tap into what true love is. If you're hearing me though, the sound of my voice, or if you're watching YouTube, or how are you getting this message, I charge you to look in. I charge you to quiet yourself for a moment, to get away from what others think and even what you have been taught, and tap into your own stillness of what love looks like to you. To be loved. What would that experience be like? And if you can truly understand that, then maybe you can truly rise to the occasion of giving that to someone else. I'll close in that many women deal with men who have cheated and they work through it because women, I do believe, understand just being mothers, understand what true love is. We don't find it as easy as men to understand what true love is. But I commend both Will and Jada and August for being transparent and sharing and working through their shit, their healing, so that they can be a small example for others. Now, yeah, I don't give a fuck about the celebrity and all that shit. But we can learn from everyone. And hopefully Gary Rockman, your real estate rock star, has shared a little bit of something that can help you eat, help you grow, help you find that true connection that's been missing. I'm gonna be a billionaire by 2030. And it's that Cali Power pussy that's gonna help me get there. Trust and believe. I'm your host, Gary Rockman, your real estate rock star. Until next week, you've been listening to Connection. Until next week, keep moving forward.